In this video is one of the more embarrassing moments I've seen on a basketball court involving a player's family. After the Pacers' star, Tyrese Haliburton, put his team in front of the Milwaukee Bucks, his pop stood up and applauded. When the clock hit zeros and the Bucks season ended in defeat yet again, John Haliburton, Tyrese's dad, approached Giannis Antetokounmpo, appeared to show a Tyrese Haliburton towel, and got in his face. I mean, look at this, man. Come on. John Haliburton, Giannis Antetokounmpo going forehead to forehead. I get that emotions run high, all right? They're talking smack to each other because Tyrese Haliburton, an NBA player's dad, went on the court to go confront a star player in the league. Like, what are we doing here? This is dumb. This is inexcusable. It's weak. It's unacceptable. But here was Giannis in the post-game presser.
Everything. Just what happened kind of out on the floor after the game?
Nothing. And this is the last time I'm going to say. I won't talk a lot. We lost the game. It doesn't really matter. One thing I'll say is that I believe like being humble in victory. That's how I am. Now there can be a lot of people out there that are like, no, when you win the game, you gotta talk shit, and you know it's a green light for you to be disrespectful towards somebody else. I disagree. I've won the championship. They haven't. Okay, and that doesn't even say anything. I'm not trying to minimize their effort, but I remember when I won, my mom that she's never missed the games from February 11th or 13th when she came in Milwaukee against the Knicks. She never missed a game. When we won the championship, I remember my mom, she was scared to cross. She was like, am I allowed to come and hug my son? I see, except now my brother does media. For this year, he wants to come back and play. But like, except in that, you've never seen my family like see courtside. See, this is not something that we do. We don't. I try to keep my family away from the game. But losing the game, emotions run high. Having a fan, which at the moment I thought he was a fan, but then I realized it was Tyrese's son, which I love. Tyrese, I think he's a great competitor. He was his dad, sorry. Coming in the floor and showing me his son a towel with his face. This is what we do. This is what we effing do. This the F we do. This. I feel like that's very, very disrespectful.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. More from Giannis in a moment. Dude, he had 30, 20, and 13. The Bucks are going to be saying, what if, over and over and over again. And a lot of Bucks fans want to point the finger at Gary Trent Jr. It was a team collapse. Trent Jr. was not good down the stretch with back-to-back turnovers in crunch time. But they blew leads towards the end of regulation and towards the end of overtime. It was a cohesive failure. They were missing Damian Lillard because came back from a blood clot. I have no idea how. And then it's reported that he tore his Achilles. The future looks bad, but just on this is one of the most embarrassing things I have seen from a family member of a player.
My dad, if you guys go and ask and learn, my dad's not with us no more. My dad used to come in the family room and was the most respectful person ever. You know, when you come from nothing and you've worked your whole life to sell stuff in the street, and your whole life you'll be scared of the police of deporting you and sending you back to your country. You have to protect your kids with all means. You create this mentality of being humble your whole life, to not kind of disrespect anybody, not make the tension high, the emotions high, so anybody can snitch on you, say something bad about you. So when he came here, I remember I was like, Dad, why are you so humble? Why are you going to the family room? You don't even say a word. You sit in the back. Why are you like that? Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry. That's how I grew up. That's what I had around. So when I see other dads, which don't disrespect me, maybe if my son played basketball, I might be in the court. I might be the one on the court, and like 20 years later, you can play this interview and say, Giannis, you're contradicting yourself. But we'll see in 20 years. But I'm talking about right now how I feel.
For what it's worth, John Haliburton owned it. and wrote on social media, "I sincerely apologize to Giannis, the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Indiana Pacers organization for my actions following tonight's game. This was not a good reflection on our sport or my son, and I will not make that mistake again." He limited replies on that message. But then there was this, which was pretty eye-opening.
He does love his son dearly. He is incredibly proud of his son. And anybody who hints at any shred of negativity about his son, he is going to come to his son's defense. We got that. But Wendy, you left something out. Everybody in the league knows he talks a lot of smack about his son all the time.
That's true.
Everybody in the league knows that most times it's unsolicited. A lot of times he's not clapping back at people who said something about his son. He's clapping at people about his son who never talked about his son, who never said a negative word about his son. So we got to take that. Agents have complained about him. Other players have complained to the league about him. Call the league office. They have complained about him. He is one of those individuals, no matter how much of a great man he may be, and unquestionably a great father who dearly loves his son. Because of that, there is an extra level of bravado he has exercised where I spoke to the league office this morning. You've had some people. They've heard a lot about some of the things that he has said to players and others. Agents have called complaining about him.
And also very revealing. I would love to know who has complained about his conduct. I would love to know why they complained about his conduct. I would love to know what he did. Because we don't know. All we have is this very small sample size of an action, not even plural, from one game where he rubbed Giannis's face in it in a collapse. And a Bucks team that you thought would compete a little bit better. And by compete, I mean going past the first round. And they get bounced by the Pacers in consecutive seasons. According to Shaquia Taylor of The Athletic, Haliburton would tell reporters after the game, "I don't think my pops was in the right. He spoke with his dad and we'll talk to Giannis eventually." Okay. He'd actually be quoted as saying, "I don't agree with what transpired there," from him, as in his dad. "Basketball is basketball, and let's keep it on the court. I think he just got excited, saw his son make a game winner, and came on the court, but we had a conversation. He needs to just allow me to play basketball and stay over there, and I'll come to him to celebrate. But the emotions of the game got excited there. I talked with him. I'll talk with Giannis. I don't think my pops was in the right at all." Which is a good answer, to be very clear. A very, very good answer. Here was Giannis concluding his presser.
I'm happy for him, and I'm happy for his son, and I'm happy that he's happy for his son. That's how you're supposed to feel. But coming to me and disrespecting me and cursing at me, I think is totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. Okay? And I'm not the guy that points fingers, because in my neighborhood, snitches get stitches. So I don't want to say something, for him to say, to get fined or anything. But it's not respectful. I talked with him at the end, and I think we're in a good place.
What I'm happy about is that Tyrese Haliburton was being forthright. And not just like covering up what we all saw, because our eyes did not deceive us there. This is another layer of something that we have covered over and over again, and it is how sports parents will just inject themselves into their kids' games. And we're used to seeing it, on the amateur level, of course. We're used to seeing it when it comes to AAU basketball. We're used to seeing it when it comes to Pop Warner football. We're used to seeing it when it comes to Little League baseball. But at the professional level, it feels like you have had that much training as a sports parent to not partake, and yet you are given those seats right there, of course, as you should, but you take advantage of it. And him apologizing, not just to Giannis, but to the Bucks and the Pacers organization was important because he embarrassed all of them. He did. It was a really, really, really bad moment. But what I'm interested in seeing, if that Stephen A. Smith story is true, is what other instances have been complained about. Because if there's smoke, there's fire, and those are things that I think we would all like to know. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.